Hello, this is Joe Sharp with Southern Software. Today we are going to be going over the new features of MDIS 21.1.2 version 564. To get started, one of the first things you'll notice is a new user interface. With this version, a lot of icons and things have changed, but are functionally the same, such as the home page. First, let's go to the laptop button. From the laptop button, we go to the Help tab, and the biggest difference you're going to notice here is the new toggle buttons. When you click on toggle buttons, this will allow you to select visible shortcuts that you would like on your home screen. Over here on the left, Results Bolo's Hot Listed Security Check are your defaults. You may also check Full Extent, Plot All Units. This will give you map shortcuts as well as searches and call history or dispatch or pre-planned events. So if we wanted call history on our home screen as well, we could select that, click Save, and it is added over here on the pane on our left side. When you first log in, you may notice that there are a lot more icons over here on the left. All you need to do to get it narrowed down is to go to Toggle Buttons and then only select the ones you want to see, click Save, and that's how it will set up. Next, in the laptop button, we have the Select Theme. For some of the older versions, this has replaced the day mode, night mode feature. The hotkey for this has also changed. It is now Alt-T, and if you go to the home page and just select Alt-T, you will cycle through our new night modes. Our first one is a gray or black night mode. The second one is more blue. Hit it a third time and it cycles back to day mode. As well as our standard day modes and night modes, you have some other palettes that you can choose from. So if you come down to the second one that says Office Colorful, you can go through and you can see that there are different ones such as Norwegian Wood, Plastic Space, Fireball, Milk Snake, Witch's Rave. And once you select them, it will open up that new palette. To get back to your original palette, you can either go select it manually, or you can hit Alt-T again and cycle back through your day modes and night modes till you get back to the original ones you wanted. Also in the Select Themes tab, you have Theme Settings. This will allow you to set up custom color palettes. So if we look over here on the right hand side, we see where it says Original Palette. If you go over, you see Custom Colors 1 and 2. If we go to Custom Colors 1, we can select that to be gray. Custom Colors 2, we can select it to be red. And you can see now that it has changed our own custom palette. If you go back and look at your themes, it also changes how the themes look. So if you would like the red color of vacuum, you can select that and it will change everything based on your custom colors you chose. To get back to normal, you just go back to theme settings. Instead of selecting the custom color, you could go back to original palette and it'll take us back to the original mode. Again, we could go back, select our original color palette through here as well, or just hit Alt-T. One other new feature we have up here at the top is our chat engine or chat notification engine. If you double click on it, you will see you have the ability to turn on and off certain notifications. Now, that is not recommended until you get very comfortable with how the program gives you notifications. Because if you start unchecking these, you will no longer get the notifications for it. Over on the next tab where it says Notification Pop-up Settings, this is where you can change your font size for pop-up notifications. You can also select an auto hide timer, and you can color code each of your notification bubbles. You can have your message color bubble changed. You have a whole list of colors to choose from here. Same thing with alerts, emergencies, overdue, BOLO, NCIC, and CFS. These can all be color coded based on user preferences. Make sure when you get done, you click Save. Next, we also have a weather map. This weather map has taken the place of a few other features, such as the weather bubble in the laptop button. But this also gives us a lot more features. If you zoom out, all the flashes are lightning strikes by default. You can also click over here where it says weather radar on the right hand side, and this gives you a bunch of layers. If we select display more layers and scroll down to the bottom, one of the great new features added is the weather warnings. So now we have displayed weather warnings. You could come down to, say, Montgomery, click on this warning that you see here, and it tells you what it is. It tells you from and to and what areas it covers, what, where, when, and the impacts, and any instructions. Last updated and who sent it. So in this case, it's the National Weather Service out of Birmingham. If we go down next to Panama, you can see that there are riptide warnings. There are a plethora of other icons that you can see as well. Most right now we're going to see flooding and heat. Off the coast of California, this icon is one of your wind warnings. And you also have this little icon here for flames for your red flags. Next, we'll go over what the new NCIC results form looks like. Now, some of you may not be using that feature, and that's okay, but I'm just going to look over it real quick to show you what the new form looks like and how it functions. So first, I'm going to put in a demo tag. Click Search.
Inactive, one occurrence.
You can see it still gives you verbal returns back. And this is what the results of the new result page looks like. So here we have everything that parses up here at the top, and you have to actually select what return you want. So any of your different returns will show up over here in the left, and you can click down to select the one that you want. You can still create a call for service from here, and you can even export this out to RMS or personal vehicle. In Texas, you can push this out to a citation as well. Here you can change the font size. You can raise it or lower it to whatever you see fit. This icon right here is to change the parsing. So if you are parsing it from a different state, say this is a Alabama one instead of a North Carolina one, you could select Alabama. It's going to ask you if you want to reparse. You could select yes. Since this is a North Carolina return, it's not going to pull anything up, and you can see that it didn't parse it very well. So we can go back, hit North Carolina, reparse, and then it puts everything back where it's supposed to go. Next, we'll go back to the home screen. We'll see we've got some more icons up here at the top. Now we're going to take a look at the call detail screen. It's had a few changes to it as well. Going to the call detail screen, we're looking at a structure fire call here, and you see that we have all of our normal data coming from CAD that has pushed over here to the left hand side. and some of our buttons have moved around a little. Your prior calls, documents, FMPs, and images have all appeared over here on the left now with their colored buttons. You've also got your Navigate To, Map, and all your other buttons that have appeared right next to them. Images has moved from up here in the right hand side to now they get their own tab. If a call has an image attached to it, it'll show up in that tab and it'll have the blue dot with a white eye in it, just like normal. Another new tab we have is From to help with places that may not have a postal address but only have a 911 address and may have a driveway that's not easily seen. This is where CAD or dispatchers can put in notes on how to actually access that location. Under the Names and Vehicles tab, you actually have the ability now to right-click and add a new person or vehicle. By clicking on it, it's going to open up a new form where you can type in anything you need to for that particular call. Click Save and Close, and it will add them in right here. You can see a couple of the demo ones that I've done earlier that doesn't have anything in it but a tag number. Some of the computers that some of our agencies have a lower screen resolution, and that has caused a problem in the past with this gray box here where the notes are supposed to go getting shrunk up to where you can't see them. We've helped combat that with these two buttons over here on the right hand side. You have a notes pop out window, and it pops out all the notes over here to the left to where you can go through and even go to different calls, and it will change the notes as you go along. Now, if you don't like that one, you've also got this one here that will just enlarge the notes to take up the whole screen. To get rid of it, there's a little down arrow right here under Current Calls, and that takes it right back to where it was. So up here, we have a couple of features that have been added into the Navigate. This will have your GPS navigate you to the location of this particular call. Or you can click on the maps here. When you click the map button, you'll see a QR code appear on the top right that will take you to your Google Maps for that particular address. If you scan that, it will take you directly to that particular address. We also have a little icon that appears over here on the left, which is your Google Street View for that particular address point. When you click on that, Google Street View will open up and show you the exact location for that street address on Google Street View. One thing to keep in mind while in Google Street View is right here at the bottom where it says the image capture date. This was March of 2024, so it is pretty recent, but I have seen things go back as far as 2008. Next, we have the emergency button. The emergency button has changed a little. Now when you click it, it no longer flashes from some of the older versions. The only thing that happens is there's a little red outline that appears around it, and the word emergency turns red. But as soon as you click off of it, it goes away. The feature is functionally the same. It will still send the alert to everybody that's logged in on duty as well as dispatch. Further over on the right side, we have two notifications now, one for your standard notifications, and then you have your own notifications tab just for chats. And just like the regular notifications tab, you can clear out all the chats at once by just clicking the bottom button here that says Clear Chats. Moving back over to the left-hand side, we have the BOLO button, and at the top of the BOLO button, we now have the ability to search BOLOs. It's up here by default, and you can just type in what you're wishing to search for, and it will find it. Next down from that, we have security checks. In this new version of MDIS, you are now able to add security checks from the field, providing that you have those permissions allowed in CAD. So to add a security check, all you have to do is click Add, fill everything out, and click Save, and it will add in just like these here. From the home screen, you may notice that there are a few other things that have changed here. So we have color coding that has appeared. Your administration has the ability to color code specific statuses, like these here. And if you cycle through your day mode and night modes, they can be seen a little bit better, or at least the brighter color ones. I selected one to a darker color that doesn't match as well. And on your call details, the buttons are also color coded. One other thing you can do from this screen is if you right click, if you have an older version, you may see now that you can change your font size. This is the case for most of the screens in MDIS. If you right click, you should be able to change the font size on most everything. So by default, you'll notice that over here on the left hand side, call history has disappeared. It is not gone, it's just moved. If you go to the dispatch screen, you'll see that it's over here on the left hand side, and you can log in and look at your call history just like normal. The last big thing we have as far as new features goes is the maps. So if we go and open up maps, we have seen them in a little bit before, but this is one of the versions of your maps. You have a few different features to choose from. So by default, everyone will now have a web map. And if you have an offline map, if you right click and go to map mode, you'll have the option of an MMPK map, which stands for Mobile Map Pack, or online. If you click the online mode, you have a few different options. Right now, mine just went to the satellite view. If you right click again and go to base map style, you could click navigation, and that will take you to more of a standard web map. You've also got night versions. One of the favorite map versions is this open street map, which is somewhat of a hybrid, because as you zoom in, it starts giving you building names, parking lots, and other information. If we right click again, we could go down to imagery hybrid, which is what we started on, and it will show street names as you back up off of them. Right clicking again, we have replot all CFS and rebuild map modules. So if for some reason you're not seeing the call show up on the map, which are now these blue dots, you can see them the further we back up. You can see the different colored dots that represent the different types of calls. You can also see the little patrol cars on the screen. If you click replot all CFS, it's going to replot all the maps, or at least all the calls on the maps. If you click rebuild map module, it's going to go ahead and close the maps and reload them. So if you think you've got something going on with your maps, you can hit that rebuild map module and you won't have to close your program out. So, one of the other things that we can do by right-clicking is click to plot. And you'll notice a new box has appeared over here at the top right. And if we click down here on a road and get a point, I could click navigate route. And wherever it thinks I am, it's going to start giving me the turn-by-turn directions. You can see the little dotted line that has appeared to my endpoint that I selected. Now, if we go to directions, right here where they used to be, you can see now your verbal, or what it will tell you verbally as your directions. MDIS does give you verbal directions now and tell you when to turn and what road to turn on, and will follow you with turn-by-turn directions. One major change is you will no longer show up as a patrol car. You will show up as a blue dot with an arrow in it, and it will follow that blue dot with the arrow in it along the map for your turn-by-turn directions. Over here on the left-hand side, we have this little square box, and if you click it, this is now your quick zoom. So if I wanted to create this country club as a quick zoom, I can right-click it. It'll ask me if I want to save the current map extent as a quick zoom default. I will select yes. Then I can go back out to wherever I want, click that quick zoom, and it takes me right back. If you have offline maps that have map layers, this 3 lines here, these 3 layers set up, will show you if there are any layers. I currently do not have any layers active. Your current address search, or the new address search feature, is going to be this little magnifying glass in it. And with the web maps, you could type in something such as Walmart, hit enter, and it's going to give you a list of the different Walmarts that you can choose from. So we can go here to Aberdeen, Fayetteville, or even Rayford. Also, when you select one of these particular locations, you also get your Google Street View to pop back up. That Street View will also appear when you click to plot a location. That covers the biggest portion of the new features other than on the admin side. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your admins or contact us at our office. The video code for this video is Romeo Foxtrot.